Hey, and welcome to the Pursuit of Healthiness podcast. I'm your host, Winanda van Delft. I'm a health and mindset coach, spaghetti and ice cream lover, travel junk, and a cat mom. I love conversations that are on a more raw and deeper level. And today's guest is Gretchen. Gretchen was born on the beautiful island of the Dominican Republic and raised in the United States. She currently lives with her family in South Australia, where she runs her online and offline habit change coaching business. She has experienced change in so many different areas of her life, and she knows what it is like to struggle with postpartum changes and how to adjust to a new happy normal. As a habit change health coach, her goal is to simplify your health journey so that you can experience health through lifestyle changes without feeling overwhelmed and discouraged. In today's episode, we're going to talk about on how to find your way back after motherhood. So welcome, Gretchen, to my podcast. How is everything today?
Everything's good. It's the end of my day today, so it's actually 8:30 p.m. for me.
Okay. Wow, that's morning. So tell us a little bit what you do. Yeah.
What I do, so I am the founder of Wellness by Gretchen, and I do one-to-one health coaching at the moment. My main focus is mainly new moms, but I have coached different people in different stages. I am, like I said, I am a new mom. My little guy is about to be 2, so he's not such a new mom anymore. And I'm a wife. My husband is Australian.
Yeah.
That's why I am here in Australia. And what else? What else do I? Yeah, I'm originally from the Dominican Republic in the Caribbean, moved to America, and now I live in Australia.
Wow, that's a big journey.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you like it in Australia? Or?
I love it. I love it here. I think the culture in Australia is a lot more laid back than the rush of the American mentality in culture. So it aligns with who I am. I'm quite chill and easygoing. So I'm enjoying living here. So I've been here for about 5 years.
Oh, that's amazing. So you're telling that you are coaching people one-on-one. So what do you coach them with? Are you coaching new moms? And what exactly do you teach and coach?
Yes. So my main focus is trying to, when it comes to a healthy lifestyle, I am teaching not so much diet or coaching in a diet mentality, but I'm trying to move away from that. My clients at the moment, they've tried several different diets. They do it, it goes well, but once it gets hard, or once the holidays come along, or once life gets challenging, the diet goes out the window, and they go back to their old ways. So in my coaching, I go through different habits that we can implement so that it becomes, the diet mentality now becomes, this is my lifestyle. There's more balance. There's more space for when things get difficult in life, when, the holidays, what do you do then? Trying to stay away from restriction, and you can't have that. That's not good for you. This food is not good for you. More so finding the balance between the two.
Yeah, I love that. Balance is really important. Like, we cannot eat healthy 100% of the time, and we just need to deal with it mentally that, we can have a pizza from time to time, but not just every day. Like, I when I think about it, I'm like, of course I was heavily overweight because I had pizza as snack, not as a meal, but as a snack. So it was really, really bad. But that's, if you just have a pizza from time to time as a meal, there is no problem with that. It's all about balance.
And one of my sessions that I recently did with a couple that I have as a client, I said to them, they were talking to me about how they had Chinese food over the break, and how the lady said, "Oh, I feel like I fell off the wagon." And I let her speak a little bit about it. And then I went back to the question. I said, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? And that's when she told me, oh, we had Chinese food. And I said, the more I asked her at the end of the conversation, I said, do you feel guilty about having Chinese food? Were you conscious that you were, okay, maybe this is not the best choice for me at the moment, but I'm going to still have it in making that conscious decision? And she said, no, yeah, I had it. And I knew that the next day I was going to continue on eating well. I'm like, excellent, because you don't want to be eating food and feeling guilty, having that guilt, this food is bad for me, because that's not healthy either.
Wow,
Okay, because
exactly.
food is not good or bad. It's just, it does different things to our body. If we have too much of it, it will reflect.
Yeah,
If you
exactly.
have
But
too
it's the
little
same
of
with eating healthy too much. I mean, you can overdo
it,
that too.
yeah,
So yeah, even but talking about guilt around food is, when you feel guilty, your stress levels go up as well, and your body responds really bad to that, and you really hold on to fat actually at that point when you are in a state of high stress level. So you need to avoid that at all costs. just
yeah.
just
And
enjoy
you
it.
start just enjoy, and you start seeing food as this thing that you I have to eat good so that I reach my weight goal, or so I can do this, so I can do that. Not seeing food as fuel and as medicine.
Mm-hmm.
um, and and that's part of my job, to make sure that when we're seeing food, Chinese food, if you have it every single day, not that it's specifically that one, but I'm saying any other type of food, fast food, having a Coke or whatever it is. If you have it every single day, like we said, obviously it's going to do something for you. It's going to reflect in your body and how you feel and your energy level and so on. But if you're having a salad every single day and sticking to that, that's going to become a very unhealthy mentality.
Yeah.
This salad or this dish is really healthy for me. You become obsessive, and it becomes like you start putting food in this pedestal
Yeah,
where
like your
see it as
life
fuel
starts to surround around food.
around it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
how did you manage to eat healthy again after you got your baby? Because from the stories that I've heard, a lot of pregnant women go crazy when they are pregnant, and then they want
Oh,
to keep off the
yeah.
baby weight and stuff like that.
Right. So this is where I guess Wellness by Gretchen came about, because I had a very strong foundation of my lifestyle prior to becoming a mom. And I'll rewind back 15 years, 10 years. Gretchen used to eat Burger King, we call it in America, 3 times a day.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
I would go to college, and food in my campus was too expensive. So I opted out to just still go to school, but I will eat outside of school. So fast food was my eat, like that's what I ate every single day for all 3 meals. And physically, you will look at Gretchen, and Gretchen would look. I was always been slim, but my skin was absolutely horrendous. My energy level was non-existent. I could sleep all day, every day.
Yeah.
Okay, that was my life. Sleep. I didn't have energy. A few years later, my dad introduced me to the gym, CrossFit. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to get into that stuff. But sure enough, I did and loved it. And I found a type of movement that I actually enjoyed. And I stuck to it because I was enjoying it. But I was still lacking the energy. Okay, it was a struggle for me to get there. He will push me, all right, let's go, 6 o'clock in the morning, let's go. And I will go because I did enjoy it, but I didn't have the energy. So then my dad said, how about let's change your eating style? Because I will go food shopping once a month. And imagine what kind of food you will be buying if you went shopping once a month.
Yeah.
Canned food, boxed, just not the best stuff, right? Yeah. I changed my eating style. I started with the paleo lifestyle, and I still implement it here and there. I do enjoy the philosophy behind it. And that was my foundation, CrossFit and the paleo lifestyle for a few years. And this is where now I think my mentality behind food and all these different diets and way of eating is healthier, because when I was doing this paleo lifestyle, I was very obsessive about it. Yeah. If I wanted to go out to a restaurant, I would call prior and say, what kind of oils are you using? I will ask all these questions to make sure that it was paleo.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't, I will be like, oh, can we go somewhere else? And it just becomes socially, it became very difficult for me to go out with friends, even with my boyfriend at the time, which was my husband now. I was obsessed with, if it's not paleo, I'm not eating it because it's going to be bad for me. Yeah. Throughout my journey, I learned what my body reacted to. Dairy is no good for me. I know that. Bits and pieces, processed food and sugars, they don't agree with me. My skin starts to not be the best. My energy goes down. So throughout that journey, I learned what works and what doesn't, all in balance, okay, in moderation. Yeah. So the year and a half prior I became pregnant, I said to my husband, I want to be at my best physically and mentally before I become a mom. So I was at the top of my fitness. I was eating quite well. Mentally, I was ready to become a mom. And in my pregnancy, not to boast or anything, but my pregnancy was beautiful. There was no complications. There was nothing, like no morning sickness. I was able to exercise up to 35 weeks, 37 weeks. I gave birth at 39 weeks. I was quite active. My challenge happened after baby came. And I think because I had a good foundation and I had good support from my husband, the journey was a bit easier, less challenging, because it was still challenging, but easier. I was really struggling with, how do I look after myself when I'm now looking after this tiny little person? Yeah. This tiny little person that needs me 24/7. Okay. He needs me literally 24/7, the middle of the night, waking up several times during the middle of the night, the lack of sleep, forgetting to eat because I was too tired. So it was either, do you eat or do you take a nap? Yeah. Do you take a nap or do you help clean the house? Do you go for a walk or do you get some rest? So I was really trying to find that balance. Okay, I am a mom, but I still need to look after myself. But how do I do that? Okay, how do I do it when he requires all my attention?
Yeah. And not just that, I bet your partner requires attention as well. So yes. You're juggling that, and I don't know if you were working at that time, yes or no, but there's so many things that you have to do.
Yeah. So how do I, good mom, good wife, and still be good to myself? How do I do that? And it was actually my husband one night when I was just literally eating my dinner and I started crying for no reason. Guilt came over me. Happy, healthy baby, great family supporting me, but I was still like what's going on? How I was feeling like I wasn't being thankful for what was happening, because I still felt like something was missing. I was looking after everyone else but me. Yeah. but I didn't know how to juggle it all. And that's how Wellness by Gretchen came about. My husband said, well, I want you to, focus, start hobby. How are you going to start your journey back into being a better version of yourself? So I gave myself time, I guess, and I put aside any expectations of, oh, you need to, Gretchen, you were going to the gym 6 times a week before. In my mentality after baby, oh, I'm going to still go 6 times a week as a new mom. So that needed to change. I couldn't sleep, having a newborn, there's no way that you're going to sleep your full time, your full night. So that mentality of, if I have a good night's sleep, then I will wake up in the morning to go to the gym. Because if that was my mentality, I will never wake up in the morning to go to the gym.
No.
to put in some, move my body.
Yeah.
So I had to have a mind shift of, not all can be done, but some can get done. So instead of going 6 times, maybe 1 week you can go 2 times, 3 times, and see how it goes.
Yeah.
If you don't get 5 hours to sleep and you're super tired, then maybe don't go. Listen to your body. So that's how it started. And I opened up my Instagram account to show people my progress. I wrote down 6 weeks worth of little habits that I was going to implement. And week 1 was just literally drinking water and walking. I think it was like 2 times a week.
Yeah.
And week 2, I will increase it to something else. And then I slowly started adding, and I think my biggest mentality shift was saying to myself, being tired was no longer an excuse. Because he's going to be little for a very long time. My husband's going to need me. I'm going to be a wife and a mom for a very long time. So you saying I am tired wasn't going to be an excuse for looking after myself.
No.
Okay.
That's good. And I think it's good that you wrote down little things you would do each week, because otherwise you're just too overwhelmed with everything that you need to do. Like, I need to walk for an hour a day, I need to eat healthy, and I need to work out. And so I think the best way to do a mindset shift like that, or just becoming healthier, is take one thing for a whole week, and then add another one the next week, and then slowly do the things that you want to do in the end. I mean, it's not a race, right? It's not a quick fix. We are trying to be healthy for the rest of our lives, to be a good mom and a good wife for years to come, not just for a couple of weeks.
Exactly. And and the more I became, the more the balance started to happen. I had more energy. I was in a better mood towards my husband. He can really testify to that one. And it just thinks, at first waking up, and I had to realize that waking up, I currently wake up at 4:45 in the morning to go to the gym. And most of the time, I just do it. It's part of who I am, and it's part of what I do. But some days I'm tired, and I'm just like, no, I'm going to stay and I'm going to sleep. And when I wake up, my biggest why is, I wake up, I feel good, I get my hot coffee that I get to drink actually hot. And then I am such a better mom, and I'm such a better wife, because I am a better mental state.
Yeah.
They are my why. They're the reason why. Yes, I am looking after myself, and I'm doing it for me, but it's really so that I'm filling up my cup so I can give to them.
Yeah.
So and now, so that I can give to my clients, because I think when I speak to like couples, or when I speak to new moms, I've been there. I know what it feels to be like so tired that you can barely get out of bed. I know what it is to randomly cry and have no idea why you're crying. And I know what it is like to have a goal that you want to achieve and feel like you're so far away because nothing's working.
Yeah. Yeah. So your advice for new moms is to just take it slowly, one step at a time, and think about yourself.
Yeah. And being and self-care, especially when you become a mom, self-care can look like as you are being selfish. Be careful with that one. Okay. Don't let anyone tell you that you taking an hour away from your family is selfish. Self-care, if anything, when you are a mom, is needed at the most.
But like you said before, like you have to fill up your own cup, and then you can be a better mom and a better wife, a better friend.
Yeah. And and especially being a new mom, you feel guilty for leaving your baby behind. Oh, they're gonna need me, they're going to need this, and they do. But if you never leave to look after yourself, how are you going to give them the best of you?
Yeah, exactly. So how was the relationship with your partner after that? After having a baby.
It was a bit rocky. It was a bit rocky. There's a lot of we need to communicate. We need to communicate, and we still do, because and I'm not sure if it's the same for everyone else, but moms go through all these changes, and we're getting ready for 9 months. We're physically getting ready to become a mom. All these changes are happening, so we are quite aware that something's going to happen. For dads to be, they're seeing the changes. They're not so much experiencing the changes.
Yeah.
And they go from being two and being, I guess, the center of attention, if you can say, to no longer being that. Okay. And there might be a bit of jealousy, and I'm using that word very loosely, but jealousy in the sense of I'm not getting the same time from my wife, from my partner, like I was before. Okay. These one day is 2 and another day is 3, and sometimes 4 if you have twins. So for my husband and I, we really needed to like set time, like, okay, it's just the two of us. After bedtime, we're going to watch a movie, or we're going to actually sit down and have dinner, no matter what time it was, and communicate. This is what I need. Not expect for the other person to figure out what's needed.
Yeah. Because you both have different needs.
Yeah. And we speak a lot about, I don't know if you read the book.
5 Love Languages.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I know that word. Yeah.
Yeah. So we speak about what it is when what does love look like and feels like to him, because it might not be the same for me.
Yeah.
My love language is doing, like, what is it?
Act of service.
Yeah. So, and for him is, what is it called? Affection. Say that again.
Quality time or physical touch?
Yeah. Personal touch. Yeah. Like he needs to be around me and my attention, for me giving him my attention. And because I was giving all my attention to the little guy, he felt like I'm the third wheel.
Yeah.
He's the third wheel. So there's a lot of tweaking in a relationship when a child comes. And my biggest advice to any parents to be is to talk prior becoming parents, and to not so much have a plan, but have a rough idea of how things are going to be like, prior to having Zane, we were very used to going to bed at the same time. Okay, going to bed at the same time, waking up at the same time. That was impossible when he was very little. So that needed to, and same with dinner. We used to sit down and have dinner. When Zane was very little, dinner happened very all over the place. So little things like that. And you need to be aware that it's just a phase. It's not going to be like that forever.
Yeah. Yeah, I think communication is good for any relationship anyway, but I think in that state, in when you become parents, it's crucial. Like you said, you have different needs, and you tend to forget about the other person because there is another person you have to look out for.
Yeah, another little person that you're so madly in love, and you just want to give them your all, and yeah, you still have your partner. I was listening to a recording from my pastor way back in the days, and he mentioned the order of things, how it should be, and he said priority is your marriage. Okay, even when after kids come, priority is your marriage, because eventually your kids are going to leave and they're going to start their own family. So if you put kids first and then your marriage, when they leave, you're really not going to have a very stable relationship. So marriage first, kids, jobs, and everything else.
Yeah, I think it's a good one, because you see a lot of people when the kids leave the house, then it's them again. It's the two of them again, and you see that often most people get a divorce because they are not used to being together anymore, and basically they've lived years apart, really, instead of growing together. And then you are just your relationship, just you, and not many people, well, some people can, but a lot of relationships don't know that person anymore because you've been doing your own thing for years. So I think it's that's good that you mentioned that you have to put your relationship first, and it's not selfish. I mean, we go back to filling up your own cup again, because when you as a couple are not strong enough, or not communicating and not feeling 100% as a couple and as an individual, you cannot be the best parent, and you are an example for your children. So when you have a good relationship, your children are likely to have good relationships as well. Like, if the dad treats the mom right, then, or the other way around, then they know what to expect from their partner as well in life. I think that is because children are just monkeys. They just do whatever you were doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Completely agree. And it's a journey. It's definitely a learning one. But I wouldn't change it. No. My little guy just the other night just said he's about to be 2, and to me it sounded like he said, "Mommy, I love you." Oh. And I just started crying, and now I just tell everyone, he said, "Mommy, I love you." It's just the most beautiful thing to be a mom, but it is very challenging at times. It's very rewarding. Yeah. You have to look after yourself in order to be the best for them.
Yeah. So what about the moms? Because I know a lot of women who have had children don't feel confident again, or don't feel sexy again, because you have a little bit of a stomach, and they are just not feeling themselves again. What will you say to them? What can they do?
What can they do? I would say, right. You have to remember who you were prior to being a mom. So whatever made you, filled you up, go back to that. That's still there. You just have to make time for it. So if prior to mom, it was dancing, try to incorporate it somehow. Okay. If it was going shopping, whatever it was, try to incorporate that and because you're not just mom now, you're still you, You're not just this label of mom, and all of a sudden who you were is in the trash. So, and I think that's where, because we hear mom, 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 mom all day, I think we forget our identity as, I'm Gretchen. Yes, I am a mom to Zane, but who is Gretchen? Okay. Gretchen loves nature. Gretchen loves to sleep. Gretchen loves to move her body by going and hiking, walking. I absolutely love being by myself. And this is Gretchen, okay?
Yeah.
Now Gretchen, as a mom, loves going walking with her child. She loves taking Zane out for little play dates and stuff. But when I start doing, or when moms start doing what the child loves to do all the time, you don't do what you love to do, this is where we lose ourselves and we don't feel confident anymore, and we don't feel comfortable in our own skin, and because we kind of just put that person in a box somewhere, left behind, forgotten.
Yeah.
I think it goes back to, you're still you, look after yourself.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say.
Yeah, I think a lot of parents in general, like moms and dads, have put that label on themselves, like, oh, I'm a mom now, I cannot do this, or I'm a dad now, I have to stay home, I cannot go out with friends anymore, or I cannot travel because I have a kid. I've heard that a lot of times, and I'm like, why would that stop you? I mean, you have to make some adjustments, but you can still travel, you can still do whatever you want. Of course, I wouldn't take the baby to the bar, but you can still do it.
Yeah, you can still do. It takes a lot more effort, that's for sure. And when it comes to, I'm not gonna lie, my life revolves around nap time. But prior to nap time, I take care of myself. I and everything else revolves around nap time. But we still go out for dinners when we can. We still go out for lunches. We plan to go hiking. We go to the beach all the time. Instead of us walking out of the house and going to the beach, now we bring half of the house with us, and we go to the beach because we have a child. If we want to go on a weekend trip, instead of just bringing a backpack with us and our things that we need, we bring half of the house because we have a child. So it's just really modifying what you're doing and just doing it. Don't let kids be the excuse. Let them be your reason why.
I love that.
Why you do things now.
Yeah, and like you said, it takes an effort, and you have to want to make an effort, otherwise it just doesn't work. It's all coming back to your why and wanting stuff bad enough. Otherwise, like you said, you're using your kids as an excuse, or being tired as an excuse, or something like that.
Yeah. And the you are going to have those days where you just don't want to do anything, but don't let those days be every day. That's when
Is there one lesson that you want to share?
One lesson, I think, for if I were to say something to Gretchen when she first became a new mom, I would say to her to enjoy your baby for the first few months while you are adjusting. Put aside any expectations. Forget about what you see on social media. Everyone is in their own journey. Forget about what people are telling you. Listen, show them respect and listen, but you do you. And once you start feeling well, then start your journey, whatever that journey is. If it's finding your way back to loving what you were doing before, going back to work, your health journey, whatever that is, just give yourself time, because your body goes through a lot. We make life we create life in 9 months, and then all of a sudden we expect it to be back in once you get out of the hospital.
Yeah.
So I will, yeah. I know for sure that if I were to have another child, I would just give myself more time.
Yeah,
To
beautiful.
just relax, enjoy it, look after yourself when you're ready.
Yeah. And if people want to hire you as a coach, because I assume that especially now with the pandemic, you can do it online as well. So you can do it from anywhere in the world. How can people contact you?
Yep. So my website is wellnessbygretchen.com. Very easy. So wellness by Gretchen, GRETCHEN.com. And there you will see all my services and you can book a time to chat with me. And my first 45 minutes consultation is complimentary.
Okay. Cool. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for this conversation.
Yeah, it was absolutely a pleasure.
Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you have any questions regarding to health or mindset, please don't hesitate to contact me. I will always answer you. And I'm basically everywhere. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. You can send me an email at info@pursuitofhealthiness.com. And I have a couple of challenges going on, free challenges on my website, www.pursuitofhealthiness.com. I also have a program called The Ultimate Lifestyle, where I coach you, where I guide you and support you to make the ultimate lifestyle change. If this sounds like you, then definitely check out my website, and otherwise I will see you next episode.